They.
And it took you an extra couple hours of rest and trancing to feel revived. So, yeah, this place is all just strange. Yeah, and when you finally wake up and feel rested, you anticipate, number one, that it's your normal time of waking, whatever time that is, and of course you realize it's been a couple extra hours. But even after you open the window or whatever, or take a look outside, you realize it's, for being a couple extra hours after your normal time of getting up, it's still darker outside than you would expect it to be. So let's say you normally get up at 6, and instead this morning you got up at 8. It's darker for 8 o'clock than it is back home. Let's put it that way. It's not dark. It's just, darker. It's not, the sun is, let's put it this way, the sun is not where it normally is. So it just feels a little darker.
Closer to the sun, so it's brighter.
Probably it, yeah.
Well, they're on the land, like it's the smog,
I think that's
from all
what it is, yeah.
industry around King City.
Good point. So speaking of the big city, and I was telling Mike and Sue before, like, y'all would come in, y'all have explored probably about from about here, and not really explored, y'all have walked probably from about here to somewhere down here to get the money exchanged, and then you kind of came back up here to the Golden Spider. So you've seen, this kind of main avenue that runs in front of the castle, and that was at night. So that's about the extent of the city that you have seen so far. So I was talking to Mike and Sue before we began about, like, so what's the plan for today? And I was saying, like, we can take this, thematically. We can treat them as daytime or daily downtime actions, even though downtime actions are technically a week long, but we can we can see in the day what we're trying to do. If we want to be more specific than that, we of course can. I know y'all had said last time some general ideas of making money, I think, was on the docket for some of us. Investigation was also on the docket. Not sure what else we had. I mean, it's kind of the main things while we're here. Gorby and John Lefleurs both said they'd hang with you a little bit longer just to see where this goes, for lack of a better term. And you get the impression they know how far they are from their home, so they're not quite equipped for it yet either. So, So what's and then the question is, are we going to do things together? Or are we going to split off and explore our own corners of the city, or how we're rolling with this?
Like, just terribly.
Some recognition on their part that you guys did save them from, imprisonment in this magic evil tower, apparently. And, and y'all have made it from some part of the world to over here where they're from. So, there's a curiosity more than anything right now. So, but also there's a pragmatic reason too that, they don't really have a means to get there. Yeah. Yeah.
Which absolutely has to be part of their thinking.
Do what?
Like, these people will help us get it the rest of the way home, given the opportunity.
Yeah. But they will also assist you today, this week, however long we're here. So they can either come with you if you say, like, Gorby, come with me or whatever, or they can go if you say, hey, go find something in the city. They can, John Lefleurs told you he's been here, but he said it's been like 20 years since he's been here. So he probably knows a few places, but it's been a while. And Gorby's never been to King City, but what's our plan?
Well, Staubit's going to get up kind of early, and if anybody else wants to, but he's just going to go for a walk.
Yeah, that's part of Kater's plan, is to scout the city. But I'd mentioned to you, Johnny, that Kater was going to try to procure items of interest to make us money. But this first day, actually, he's not going to necessarily try to steal anything unless there's just something laying around. But really, his goal is to understand where are the markets, where are the seedier parts of town. If he can identify some, thieves' cant signs that might be out of any kind, just to see what kind of thief culture might be here. So he just wants to go do a walkabout, and that's probably what he's going to spend all day doing, is just as far as he can out and around, get a lay of the land. I don't know to what degree Stavitz is doing that, but that's Kater's plan.
Yeah,
and know it.
It's similar with fewer intentions, I feel like, right? Just at first, just taking it in, and
of enjoying the bright lights.
Just like, I assume that in some ways this is like home, but in some ways it's not like home, right? That's just trying to absorb those differences. Maybe I even try and pop in and like find a map somewhere, like the just to get a lay of things. If there's a tourist info center, I'll take all the free pamphlets I can grab.
guy with a little kiosk in the middle of the street passing
But yeah,
out. Like,
at the same time, he's interested in finding work, like finding money, but like I don't just want to like do like basic work. I'm talking like something that pays well, that involves
Risk reward.
Stabbing somebody.
yeah, basically something that pays well, and you can just kind of like
Yeah.
hire or just whatever day labor type, not labor, but yeah,
Okay.
that work.
Okay.
So that's another thing I'll keep an eye out for, thinking about something that Stavid and Kater might be really good at, is just seeing if there's any kind of bounty or reward or help needed type board. So there's like a, anywhere that we go, kind of looking for something that might have postings of needs, and of course just wanted signs, because that's always good.
Right. Okay. Cool. Just start there then. Is that? Unless
Yeah, we just want to explore the whole city. If you want to start there.
Children or Linus is going to do something like before that.
Yeah, you don't have to start early to drink. You drink whenever.
I mean, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning. So
Morning, very.
I'm not questioning your commitment.
And again, it's not as early as I intended because of that couple extra hours I needed to.
Right.
Yeah.
Even with my couple extra hours sleep, I'm still up before these guys.
Right. Well, trance. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was, and you're still trance, and it just took you longer in trance this time.
Yeah. So when Elenius gets up, he's gonna get up and around and go to find the Temple of Helm Saloon in Chantia. That's the part of the city he's most concerned with.
Okay.
But I think they go first for sure.
Okay. So I can give you like kind of a general lay of the land here as y'all are like, walking about, whether you're searching for something specific or not. So you're in Eurosa's heart, the neighborhood. And as you like walk around, I mean, obviously these aren't like plastered all over buildings or anything, but you come to find like there are these like neighborhoods or wards as they call them. And, so like Eurosa's heart, which is where you are. You realize this is kind of the, with the castle here, like this is like the center of like nobility in the city. It's the center of, the politics and the government. Like, it's all of those things here. So it's early in the day, but you definitely see nobles being, carted about and moving about to their jobs, whether they're heading towards the castle or not. And Eulenius, you do find that most of the bigger named temples are actually either in this ward or within the main city walls. But Helm and Saloon definitely would be located somewhere in Eurosa's heart. So there's a religious piece to this, a spiritual piece to this as well. So, as you're just kind of walking through all those things, Linus, you would actually come to probably that before they would come to anything else, especially if you're starting a little earlier. So, do you have is there a specific thing you were going to do?
Sort of a order of operations was first finding these places, but then also seeing what they have to do with caring for people that have fallen ill with vanishing.
So what you come to find out after, like, essentially talking in the temples and the churches, identifying yourself, is that, generally speaking, when someone is struck with the vanishing, and it does happen, that it's, go to my notes so I can use the exact wording. It's treated as a disease. It's treated as a disease, which, like, there's not really a cure, because there's not. But it's not treated as somebody's not treated as a pariah and, maybe thrown off the side of a cliff if they have it. For example, they do the best they can with it, whether the temples are involved or whether there's, other types of people try, all types of remedies and potions and things that, of course, none of them work, but, people don't stop trying. And then, of course, when the vanishing gets to that point where it's overtaking them and they're lost, and they do what they can for them. Try to keep them in care. Eventually they die, and so it's not a capital punishment thing. It's not it's not. Now if they pose a threat to the people around them, the vanishing strikes, they go insane, and they start trying to hurt people, then sometimes authorities have to step in. But you get the impression that there's enough understanding, not of what it is necessarily, but understanding of, like, it could happen, that even if people think it can't happen to them, if it does happen to them, then they at least understand, okay, this is how we can manage it the best that we can. You do hear talk of a guild called the Vanished, that tends to that's and you hear this from when you're asking about it. Said, oh, those folks over in Jack's Rise, they they're a little more zealous about it, and they're always trying to seek out causes, and they can tell you about it, all about the history of it as best as we understand it, and then others. So essentially, they tell you there's a guild called the Vanished that's dedicated to the vanishing, over in Jack's Rise. But otherwise, you don't. There's not like, there's not people dying by the dozens every single day. There are occasional people. They tell you probably, maybe in a city this size, maybe 5 a week at most, that they hear about. Certainly, there could be some that people don't hear about. So it's a rare thing in King City, especially with all the people that are here.
So in small towns outside King City, is it possible to say, like, they'd go potentially a long time between anybody having the vanishing?
That's the belief of many people. Now, you do get the impression that they're speaking strictly from a King City and Garwinia perspective, although you don't really know what that is. But from a this area perspective, let's put it that way. And like somebody even say, like, yeah, we're not sure, like, how it's being handled in other places, on the continent, but here.
Yeah, it started on this island, right? That's what we've always been led to believe.
Yes.
In For All.
Yes, in this continent of for all, yes. It's believed to be traced to the realm of Agparon.
It's good to get that confirmation. Thank you. I'll find this Guild of the Vanished.
Okay. So just yeah, so otherwise you do find in Neurosis Heart, all three of you, since you're moving about, there is a Hall of Records at the crossing here of the river, which the river cutting through the city might seem a little unique to you as well. But there's obviously a bridge there. There's two 20-foot tall statues of a regal looking man and woman, and you find out that that's King Garwin and Queen Eurosa, just standing there at the bridge, yeah, so that's sort of the description of Eurosa's Heart. If you head down to Lower Thrym is it's actually the oldest part of the city. You find you probably can't tell from the architecture, but you can tell there's a lot of older people here, or older structures here, and and again, there's still quite a bit of wealth in this part of the city as well. There's of course, where Grustals is, the moneylender. There's a place called Namas, which, for those of you that have a little arcane about you, seems a little arcanish. It's a smaller place, but and then there's a weaponsmithy called the Dragon's Tooth. That's pretty big operation, it looks like. So you have Lower Thrym and Eurosa's Heart kind of make up this whole area of there's a lot of wealth here. You do discover that, like, across the river and like Westgate's probably where most of there's like industry is happening. A lot of warehouses, a lot of businesses. Again, still a good amount of money on that side as well. And you get the impression after like doing this walkthrough that like within the walls here, like this is where like the heart of King City is, and that's where like the heart of the economy is, and that's where the heart of like things are here. And so there's a lot of trade on this side. The river, of course, you do see there are smaller river boats, river ships moving up and down. They have docks here and there where they stop and offload things and then continue to pass up and down the river. And then you do see that at Westgate there's a lot of guilds, and so you come to realize in your morning walk through here that a lot of people in the city seem to be involved with these guilds. They're what guilds are, and a lot of them have some colorful names, like you wouldn't get that one yet, but like the vintners, which deals with like winery and wines and brew, but then there's also the brewers, which again has to do with brewing things. The order of the smiths, so there's all kinds of things like that, like throughout Westgate. And so there's a lot of trade. There's a lot of markets on the west side of the river in Westgate. And so, even at 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning, you can see the markets are all busy. It's a very busy area of the city. In fact, the whole city is very much alive as you're moving through. So I'll pause there and say, like, is there like any places I know where Linnaeus is heading after he's doing the temple roundabout. Are we looking to exit the main city part? Are we pausing, look around?
David, do you have any preferences?
I mean, yeah, eventually, yeah. And he'll like, if you allow, like, I'll like just like stare at the river for a while and like stare at the castle for a while, and like just anything that's different than what I've seen the rest of my life. I'll definitely like. So he's definitely not like keeping a good pace or anything, I feel like.
And yeah, whenever Stavid's doing that, Kater's studying the area, so he's studying the people around and then getting that sense of like, okay, how much wealth is here and there, and merchants, and what are they selling, what are they buying, listening to people, picking up what people sound like here versus what they sounded like at home, so he can start getting some phrases in his head. So while Stavid is studying these things, he'll be studying the people and objects around.
And it's a super diverse city too. Like there's people of all types of, species and, just, everywhere. I mean, it's, and the castle itself, so I don't know if I described this last time. The castle sits on like, that's a hill, and it actually overlooks like everything in the entire city. So it is the dominating feature in the city. They do
it's the largest structure we'd ever seen.
Do what?
It's the largest structure we'd ever seen. I thought you had said that last time.
Yeah, I would think so. Like the only thing that could potentially rival it is the tower back in Cloudforth that I already forgot the name. But yeah. But that was more tall. This is big and wide. So I mean it's a castle. And it's of course it's a walled castle. So yeah, and you do find out like this is not the original castle that was here. The original castle was actually in Lower Thrym, in a place that's now been plowed over and built on top of and all that. So this was the castle that Garwin and Eurosa built. So it became their place. And that green that's in front of it, the Dragonwind green, it's like a beautifully manicured green, and it's perfect. Not a blade of grass is out of place, and there are guards that patrol the walkways and the pathways through it. But you also see there's like shrubberers and people that are working to maintain the bushes and the trees and the fauna and like everything in this area. So I mean it's just a beautiful area that people are allowed to walk on. They just there's a certain point when they get close enough to the castle where they're stopped by the guards and and you do see some nobles that arrive and they talk to the guards or present some paperwork, whatever, and then they're allowed to go into the castle. So clearly they have business at the castle. But yeah, so and yeah, and the the river, like I said, it flows south. I think I don't want Mike to yell at me about my bad science, but I think it flows. We're gonna go. It should flow south, yeah. So, but yeah, it's most of the boats you see actually come in from the south, and depart going south. So yeah.
And then, yeah, I'm sure the wall is. Do we have big walls like that? Like, is the biggest wall we've ever seen? Like,
Yeah, city walls. I mean,
there's not much point over a wall when
not
you're
really much point to have
an island and floating in the.
No, I mean there are some
maybe to keep you from falling off.
Right, and there are some walled-in structures in Athalia. So I mean you've seen walls surrounding like a nice manor house or something, but like a wall encompassing like a city.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's not.
Definitely do some goggling at that, and
yeah, and obviously there's plenty of guards walking, mostly standing or leaning or sitting, so yeah, you do find out in Westgate, especially Kater, just kind of listening out for things that it seems like that once you pass out of this gate here into Sissel, that's when things get a little less nice, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little it's the area outside the walls, and you over here, some people talking about like well, we could pass that way. It's like, oh, then we'd have to pass through Sissel. Oh, that's dreadful. No, we should just probably hire a ship and just sail down. It'd be a lot easier, so that type of thing. So yeah, you're just using your street knowledge to figure out like Sissel might be the area I might find some of my people. And I don't mean Kinku, although it could find Kinku there, but your people, yeah. So
people who know how to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, people know how to do things, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I'd say it's like, it's a couple hours just moving about the interior of the city here. Linnaeus is making his way outside. So, has Keldrin gotten up and going yet, or is he still? Well, yeah. But I mean, like, yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh. Is it just you or is it everybody? Just you.
Yep, so that's cool. There we go. Now I'm back. So, for anybody who's been watching me talk for a little while, yeah, start at
the storm.
Yeah, start at the Tasty Rats Inn. So yeah, work our way up to like, yeah, what's up with the storm? Do you hear anything about that? That was weird, huh? Yeah, what rumors do you hear about the storm? Have you heard anything about this? Oh yeah, he wants to find out if anybody else has been having like weird dreams over here. And then like, have you ever heard of like a person named Elodie Everstrong? Will that name ring a bell to you at all? And so those are the three things he's kind of working up as he just chats with people. And so the plan is start, once he kind of like finishes at the Tasty Rats, be like, hey, where's another good place I could go get a drink? I'm not from here, and so I want to sample all the different places. He knows about the Fiddler already, so eventually he'll make his way around to the Fiddler, but find out from the Rats, like, where's another good place to go there, and then just sort of like work his way around from tavern to tavern, chatting people up and seeing what he can find out.
Are you staying in just Eurosa's heart? Or are you
Well, I mean, only until I run out of taverns.
Okay.
If I get through, I mean, depending how many are here, if I get through all of the ones in Eurosa's heart by lunchtime, well, then I'll go somewhere else.
Stumble somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay. So tell you what, make a roll.
Okay.
Some kind.
I will make a roll.
I was thinking of obviously you're being very charismatic.
Yeah, of course.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Being my usual.
Yeah. I mean,
charming self.
I don't know what the skill would be. I mean, it's a charisma check of some kind. I mean, persuasion, I guess, but
that feels right. That's right. It'll get.
I guess you're trying
to tell me things.
Pull information out of them. Yeah, they have it.
All right. How persuasive? Decently persuasive.
Pretty good. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of like a day long check for you.
Okay.
As you're going from place to place. So, all right. So I got what you're doing. So I'll come back to what you find out there throughout the course of your bar hopping. Yeah.
I'm on a pub crawl by myself.
So, Linus, you head outside the main part of the city.
Yeah.
Through the gates there. So, you enter this neighborhood. You find out at some point it's called Jarrettstown. And it, it doesn't look, I mean, the people here, let's put it that way, like, it's not quite as, like, the nobility isn't as strong here. But I mean, it's not Sissel, as the people will say. So it's it's nice enough. Huh?
Ouch. Elenius isn't bothered by that sort of stuff. He's just gonna walk through. He's got his several different pieces of heraldry showing the different emblems of Saloon Helm and Chantia.
And some people recognize them, and they,
Yeah. If anybody comes to talk to him or anything, then he'll talk to them as he's walking through. But otherwise, he's trying to get to Jack's Rise.
and yeah, and yeah, you come through, and again, people didn't say anything that's like extra helpful besides, just good morning, or or they give you a saloon blessing or a Chantia blessing or something, and so yeah, you pass through, you see you pass by like what appears to be like a library called Gold Tome, not Tomb, Tome, Gold Tome. And it looks like a pretty nice place on the outside.
That's in Jarristown?
It's in Jarristown, yeah. So you pass by that as you're going, and you're also like, no, Jack's Rise is over that way, but beyond that, when you get there, it's like, I still got to find where this guild is located. As you're in Jarristown, did I miss?
Gold Tome was a store or like a library?
It's like a library. No, that's it. Yeah, it looks like it's a library. They do, you're stopping wondering that, like, somebody said, well, if you're looking for a fashionable place, you should go down to Creditha's haberdashery. She'll hook you up. If you're looking to upgrade your wardrobe.
My wardrobe is adequate to my needs. Thank you. I am here to honor the gods, not myself. But I do. How far am I from Jack's Rise here?
Oh, Jack's Rise. Well, you head down the road. Keep heading down the road. Pass through a couple market areas. Is there a specific place you're looking for?
I'm not sure. I'm looking for a guild there called the Vanished.
Oh. I'm not sure where that is.
Me either.
Maybe they vanished. Disappeared. Shouldn't. Sorry. Bad use of terminology. Yeah. I'm sure somebody over there can help you once you get there.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yeah. And it does become a little more sparse as you get, in between Jarristown and Jack's Rise. But what you notice is that as you kind of look out, in this direction, what's not labeled on the map is that you can actually still see buildings and farmlands for as far as the eye can see, like to the north.
So there's like a distinct edge of town here.
No, that's what I'm saying. It looks like it on the map, but as you look out in this direction, there's still more here. Now it's more sparsely populated.
Okay.
So it's not clustered as like all these buildings are here. But you can still see it on into the distance. So you're heading to Jack's Rise. So
yes.
What's our two sightseers doing?
I love Stava the tourist.
It's yeah, a lot to take in.
Again.
So is there no bridge outside here outside of the like down on this part of the from Cecil to whatever that says? Like,
Actually, no. So there's a lot of docks and things down here. So people could boat over if they wanted to, but yeah, you don't see any. Now you think if you went far enough south down the river, you might be able to find
one eventually, yeah, but not nearby. Yeah, where do you want to go?
What's up? As we were traveling around, so I mean, sightseeing, stopping, looking. As we were traveling from place to place before we even get to Sissel, part of what Tara would like to keep an eye out for is what crime looks like in this nicer part. Like, can you spot pickpockets? Can you spot hustles? Looking down alleyways, is there anybody getting unlikely but mugged? So like looking for what kinds of crime might be evident even in this nicer part of town. He has an idea of what regulated, what's not, what's common, what's not. Or is it just maybe this part of town cleaned up, so many guards, nobody would do anything? I don't know.
Well, you get the impression that if pickpockets wanted to operate here with all the kind of nobles who don't may not pay attention to things, that they could probably rack up a little bit just walking through a busy market square. And now some nobles might have some guards with them that might make it a little tougher, but some are just whatever.
How good the pickpockets are.
Yeah. But now you don't see any evidence of like people being mugged in alleyways or things like that. It's like that just doesn't seem near. You would guess that crime here would be more of pickpockets, but then probably more of the quote unquote white collar crimes, if you will.
Yeah.
So people probably being ripped off somewhere from some deal, some maybe there's a neighborhood crime boss somewhere that controls a block or two and shakes people down and things like that. But nothing, especially like in the middle of the day on this side, that you could easily identify as like there's crime over there.
Okay. And as we're going around, are there no like job boards or wanted posters for anything that like stands out as like, hey, help needed?
You do see there's like a post that has some jobs for work for hire. They have to do with caravans, wagon trains like leaving the city. So like one says see Throwtuck Steel Buckle in Westgate at the Hammer and Anvil Coster for a delivery job to Lyasdale. Doesn't mean anything to you. That's what it says.
Right. Yeah. None of that mean any other than job deliver. Like all the rest of it was just nonsense.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah. There's another one there. It says there's someone needs help moving out of the city. Essentially, is what it says. Will pay. Inquire here. The third one is need workers for delivery on the river, south to DeLuna and Avonport. Again, doesn't mean anything to you.
Right.
Inquire here. So it's stuff like that. That's like outside. A lot of the in the city things you see are come join the guild. Whether it's the Sword and Shield, Warriors Guild, the Arcane Alliance, and that can provide you opportunities for, employment. Now, certainly there are shops that have help needed. Inquire within. You don't see any here bounty hunters needed for tracking things down. But then you do realize, because you're in that part of where it is, that there is there was, unless I got rid of them. Maybe they were bad.
They got vanished.
Yeah, they got vanished. There's a. Yeah, I guess I didn't. Never mind. Scratch that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not here. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, but so you don't see any like bounty hunters or this person's wanted for some crime.
And no guild that would potentially be over that. So I mean, you obviously have the guards, but any kind of type of guild that's a in-city adventuring guild that's hey, we need these things taken care of, need muscle for XYZ type of guild.
Probably the closest thing to that in this area that you've run into or passed is there's actually a kind of a customs that oversees the ships coming in, and they call themselves a guild, whether they are or not, but they sort of oversee that type of thing. You do think that there's they probably do a little more than that, but not necessarily a police force or something like that. They probably do a little bit of policing if somebody's trying to smuggle in something, but not track somebody down. At least not yet.
I was just looking for a legitimate way to beat people up and take their stuff.
Yeah.
If that doesn't exist, that's fine.
You haven't seen anything here in this area walking around.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm looking to privateer rather than pirate.
Right. No, I mean, if you wanted to apply to be a city guard,
Sounds horrible. I doubt they beat anybody up. Okay. So yeah, as we're going, those are the types of things he's looking out for. Opportunities to legitimately steal stuff. But if he doesn't have an opportunity to do it right, he'll find ways to do it wrong.
So where are you going?
Or
what are you doing? I mean,
Drew, do you have any?
Well, so there's the same thing on this side of the city where the city doesn't necessarily end where the buildings on our map stop. It just
Sissel.
You mean over here?
Yeah.
So to the west, actually, the buildings do start to end. Now again, what's not labeled on here are the farmlands, because there are some farmlands. But you get a high point, you can see the buildings here is kind of where the city proper ends on this side, with farmlands out to the west. So the growth is definitely more to the east and the northeast and the southeast. The east.
I will be back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'll and that site I'm sure is something too. They just have not seen it in my life. Like just land going.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah.
Gonna spend some time just soaking that in and
Well, they'll tell you that.
My worldview.
Yeah, and they'll tell you like part of the reason that it gets difficult and why it stopped where it is that the land turns swampy, marshy when you get a few miles down the way there. So, that's part of the reason that the growth that direction became a little more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I would, I guess then, yeah, kind of crisscross back across to the other side, come down into lower Truman or whatever, and go out, down towards Stonebloom or
Stoneblooming.
Yeah, maybe take a peek at. I guess I could maybe, kind of see whatever Stonebloom, Frostrise area.
Okay.
Just continue to take it in and.
Yeah, so the Stonebloom like describes like this whole area. They also tell you like the gate there is and that gate is probably the biggest road gate, like path gate. Obviously the river gates are a little bigger, but and when you like pass through, you see that like there you look in this direction over here, and you see there's like a large grove of trees, and on first thought you're like, those trees are gray, like they look like gray trees, and as you stare at them a little longer, then it's like, okay, well they're actually trees, and they are gray trees, in fact, and so you kind of move that way a little bit just to get a little better look at them. And yeah, there's a very large grove of trees. You see there's a couple of druidic people that seem to be tending to them. And they, like I said, they that's what you see. Like it seems to be like kind of a dominant feature of this area. To the south down here, again, the buildings just kind of end, and this area all down here is very pristine land. It is nice grassland. There's some farmland in there, but like from kind of where you see the farmland like to the outer buildings here, it looks nicer than any other farmland or grassland you've seen. Seems a little almost out of place for where you are. So that's what you see with the in Stonebloom. You do pass the old Battle Axe pub and tavern, so.
Relax, you say.
I enjoyed that one coming up on the random name generator. So
I'll hear about this one at some point.
Man, we might have to stop for a lunch or something. I don't know how long we've been walking.
I know.
What's that?
If you mention lunch, Pater will shake his very light coin pouch, raise an eyebrow at you.
Oh shoot! I gave all my money to Kelvin. go back there at some point.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, Keldrin, you're making the rounds. You've hit the you did the rat.
Yeah. Rats.
And the tasty rats. And where are you? So Rose's Heart. There's a place called Dressy's Mountaintop. Which, you know, is a very nice place. It's not so much of a pub, it's more of a nice, I don't know, winery almost. It's a nicer establishment. There's, you know, lots of nice looking people in here getting their brunch wine. So and then you'd also go into the Fiddler. I can't remember, we had called the Fiddler something, and then I forgot. I didn't write down the name. It was something. Was it the Fabulous Fiddler? Okay.
Oh, I got the tavern names. Don't worry.
Yeah, and the Fabulous Fiddler. And as you approach it, there's musicians playing. Clearly a more lively joint. You know, than Dressy's Mountaintop. But it's, you know, same type of thing. It's a nice, nicer place. Yeah, you're not finding anywhere in Euros' Heart that's like super rundown, or that's on the squalid side of things. Even if you go in somewhere that, you know, the drinks aren't that good, they still overcharge you for it. You know, it's the way it goes when you're in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drinks are expensive here.
So, yeah. But the you know, you kind of head south, you know, south of the castle and like Lower Thrym. I gave you some more. The Glorious Dawn Inn. You know, again, a little pretentious in name, and when you walk in, you realize in character as well. The Wicked Hammer. The Impossible Flame. Which when you walk in, there's like kind of in the center of the tavern, there's like a flame that's just, you know, and little arcana you can figure out. It's just a little illusionary magic trick that's keeping the flame, keeping the flame going at all times, you know.
Yeah. Neat.
But so you think it plays well for, especially during the late nights, you know. So yeah. So you're making your way around. Oh wait, I lied. That was in Westgate. Sorry. You did the circle, the reverse circle.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, Lower Thrym, just because I know you're keeping tabs of all these. There's the Gleaming Wolf, the Leaping Eel, which is actually down by the river.
Leaping?
The Leaping Eel, yeah, the Leaping Eel.
Weird.
Yeah. And then the Pink Manatee Inn, also by the river. So, you know, just fulfilling all your as your
Doing the
your morning and afternoon. And I'll tell you first, nobody's ever heard of a Lodi Everstrong.
okay.
Yeah,
That's hard to believe, but
yeah, that was the and then like the Vanishing, again, it's kind of what I was telling, you know, what Linnaeus was finding out, sort of the same type of thing where people are, you know, oh, it's a when they do talk about it, like, probably somewhere somebody's talking about like, well, my grandmother, last week she succumbed to that. I mean, but she lived a good life, and it wasn't, it came quick for her, and it was, so it's
She didn't suffer.
right. She's in a better place now.
Commiserating with.
Yeah. But again, it's not a thing that people are ashamed or afraid to talk about. It's not like, again, they're afraid they're going to bring it up and somebody's going to come over and snatch them away and throw them off a cliff somewhere. So they're, but yeah, so yeah, that's that's how you're talking to people. So the King Stefan, Queen Athelina, they're I think I put some of this in from last time. Yeah. So, and you hear people talk about like, the king and the queen, and she is the actual descendant of the original founder of this realm, which you find out, this realm's been here for like over 1,000 years. So like the descendancy is like, it's kind of remarkable that it's held all the way down, from the original founder Felradil to her, and so you gather actually from talking to some people, especially after a drink or two, like you almost get a sense like there's this cultish belief almost in like the lineage here, like man, there must be some kind of, I don't know, like they've got some kind of blessing, or there's some kind of because it's remarkable, and how many of them have lived into their 70s or even 80s, and just to live that long and to do the things they've done and to build up this realm, and so that they talk glowingly about them. Not everybody, of course, but I mean a lot of people, and so and so that's kind of the gist you get of like what people are saying about this realm. So and there's a little bit of talk that you've heard so far that I hadn't got really much into yet about these storms or whatever they are. So you're still picking your way through that throughout the day. Yeah. So as you're doing that, Linnaeus is getting over to Jack's Rise.
All right.
Made his way over. Taking you all morning, definitely, to get over here to this part of the city. And yeah, I mean it's crowded. There's quite a few market squares over here as well. You see actually quite a few like kids, more kids running around out this way than you saw like closer. Not to say there weren't kids, but there's like a lot of kids you see like running around this place. At some point you come across there's actually an orphanage here, and it's a good sized building, and they call themselves Lost and Found. But yeah, so you're looking for the Vanished.
It didn't seem like a secret society. So
It did not.
I feel like they'll be around.
Yeah, and so you ask about it, and people are like, oh yeah, they're there, and they direct you to it. They tell you to go by go by the beautiful diamond, and then once you get to Grimmel and Tim's place, you need to hang a right. Drew walked away. He didn't hear it.
Names of dead people.
I heard it. Okay.
People who died horrible deaths.
Grimmel and Tim's, a somber tavern with exceptional dwarven ale and wine. And head down to the end of the road, and keep going this way. You'll pass by Winter's Hearth, and then past Winter's Hearth, that's the Vanished will, they make their guild quarters there. And a lot of them either live around the area or they take residence in Winter's Hearth, the inn that's there. So you follow those directions and eventually you get there.
All right.
It's kind of a nondescript building. I mean, they're not hiding. But it's not like it's a flourishing guild or market guild or commerce guild or anything like that. So
right.
It's a building of modest means. But it's open, it's not a closed door or anything. If you walk in, you see a couple people, sitting kind of in, comfortable chairs. One of them has like a book in their hand, reading, and the other one is just kind of sitting there, in thought.
What do they look like?
I mean, they look run of the mill. Not run of the mill. They look maybe adventuring types.
Okay.
So they're not commoners. But they're both human. And they both have, like I said, weapons, and so they're, like I said, they don't look like just your everyday commoners, but and you walk in and they don't. I mean, they look up at you, and then they just go back to what they were doing. They don't.
So I'll walk in and see. Does it look like there'd be? It's just the two people in here right now.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say good morning.
Oh, good morning.
I've come from out of town, and it seems that the Oblivion, or the Vanishing, is quite a lot different here than it is in Cloudforth, where I'm from.
Okay, let's start where you're from. Cloudforth?
Cloudforth. It's we came through teleportation circle. We're across the ocean from here.
Oh. You are far from home.
Yes. Yes.
You called it
we are.
the Oblivion?
Yeah, that's what it's called where I'm from. But I've been researching this for years now, and I have been able to read some of the primary documentation from this land. Um, I didn't realize how vast this place is, but there's a bulge or a kingdom of Akron
Yes.
where this originated. The vanishing here seems infrequent compared to our experiences in Cloudforth, where it's quite frequent. And it's accepted here in a way that it is not accepted there. The differences are interesting and not insignificant, but why is the vanishing so infrequent here?
Well, that's a lot of information. Well, there's a lot of theories. One theory holds is that well, this is a blessed land. That certain forces, at least, maybe, I don't know, powerful forces have protected this land and continue to protect this land from it. That's the theory. Others of us believe that, I mean, it was worse in this land, centuries ago.
When it began.
Certainly.
It ravaged the land from all accounts.
It did, but it was still worse at Quran for all, places more northeast of here. Angrist was hit kind of hard, which that is not necessarily northeast of here. That's really just north of here, not very far. But
Angrist is near here.
Well, comparatively so as opposed to Akron,
which is several bulges over. So it's on the other side of the continent.
Yes. Kingdoms, we call it, or realms. But yes.
Realms. So they're all different countries.
We can go with that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. There's its point of origination by most of the learned is in Acheron, and they suffered the most. But again, there's no place on this continent that hasn't felt the effects of the vanishing.
You feel the effects so much less, and our land is blessed as much as yours. We're of the same world. And Hellman Saloon, Chantia, the rest of the pantheon of light and life are present in my land. So, and I've seen the work of Hellman, Chantia, and Saloon thwarting the darkness of Shar. But have you attributed the vanishing to Shar?
That's the theory. So clearly you do have some knowledge.
I've been studying this for decades.
Yeah, I mean that's it's also, but if Shar is the reason for it, then why didn't Shar? I mean, why aren't we all vanished?
Why aren't we all vanished? And why Shar has been around since. Yes. But there's a different darkness. The darkness that came with the vanishing. That is not the same.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh.
I was hoping that would jar some thought of yours.
I mean, we know.
There's Shar's darkness.
Well, the vanishing, naturally.
Yeah.
Well, and Shar's being the goddess of darkness. I mean, so darkness could have a lot of different meanings in that respect, but if you're talking a different darkness than those attributed to her, that's a little beyond your
reckoning,
our understanding.
But what, aside from your land being blessed, what else could it be?
That's what we've been trying to understand and figure out. Perhaps our land wasn't, or perhaps our realm wasn't targeted.
Your realm was the source of it.
Well,
if not the source, then the first wave of attacks of it.
Sorry, perhaps Garwinia was not targeted.
Oh, what do you know of Absalom?
I mean, it's a realm on the other side of the continent, and
is that ravaging Agron?
No.
Is it similar to here?
From what we know, from what we hear, which I mean isn't much, because I mean it's far away, is that it's held in check for the most part. I would guess they probably have a few more vanishings than occur here, but again, it's not like we go there. It's not like we've been there.
What is it like there? Here seems civil and peaceful, although large and vast.
Mostly, yes. I mean, there's some occasional spots that you may not want to go. I don't know if I'd head down to Sissel after dark, but East Hill can get a little raucous sometimes, and it's 6 crosses. But I mean, yeah, for the most part, our city is it's a peaceful place, and King Garwinia and the Guardians do a good job of keeping our city and our realm safe.
Who are the Guardians?
The Guardians of the Right, and that's what it's our local force. Yeah, they protect us. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so we don't know. We're hoping that in a generation or two, maybe the vanishing will just go away.
Is it becoming less common every generation, or this is a hope based on what?
It has certainly become less in the last 100 years. It hasn't really peaked or spiked at any point. Here, I can't speak for other realms.
You can't speak for other realms and for all, or other realms.
other realms. Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the
Are you
last 100 years.
Are you a crusader?
A crusader? No.
No.
Not as such.
It's very rare. We have visitors from anywhere that come in talking of the vanishing.
I was led by Helm to a vision. And it's changed my path. I mean, it's focused my path. There's a path I was already on. We may be able to end this, but how and what? Like, how can we do this? There's a key in the lack of effects here compared to in Cloudforth. I'm sure of it. We're missing something important. So what would have happened 100 years ago to cause a drop in vanishing?
Well, I should be more specific. Over the last 100 years, our numbers have steadily declined, but even before that, they were declining. We've never had, after the initial 400 and some odd years ago, it was bad. And then it got better. And then it's never really worsened. It's just gradually slowed down until it became accepted. And then until it became an illness that even people of your profession could not cure, certainly. So that made it something more dangerous and terrible, but also it's a relatively low percentage.
So why have this guild?
Well, because some of us believe that it may come back.
A fear, or is there a reason to fear this?
I think more just a fear, but
the people that are affected by the vanishing,
Mhm.
Are they of similar age or all ages?
All ages. We don't have there's not I mean, we've tried to track in the city whenever it happens. We've kept pretty good records. As long as people are willing to share, reveal it, which for the most part they are. And yeah, there's not a demographic that is struck more than others. Why do you ask?
Because you're in King City. I've seen elders.
What do you mean?
All of our elders are gone. They've all fallen to the Oblivion.
Oh. Well, now this is, you'll forgive me saying, interesting. So there's the elderly population is.
It isn't.
It isn't. He looks at the other person. That'll be interesting for other members to hear about. And this cloud fort is where?
Oh, I'm sorry. So I keep on calling it Eldra, and that's not it.
Asalia.
She's probably there.
Asalia.
She's everywhere.
Oh, one of them's like, "Where's Asalia?" And the other one says, "Oh, the book's like Asalia. Oh, the floating cities, as they're called."
Yes, the bulges.
Okay. Yes. Bulges. Yes. Floating cities. Okay. You are from far away.
We are from far away, but we got here very quick.
You say we.
Yes, there's several of us.
All here searching for this Oblivion, as you call it.
In different ways, yes. I believe that all of our paths lead this way.
Oh. Well, if you'd like to leave information about where you're staying and who you and your companions are, we would certainly be willing to, if we find out more info.
If you find out more info, then I'll be by in 2 days. But given our current circumstances, I'd prefer to not share our current location with strangers.
Fair enough. Someone hunting you?
There's no one not hunting us. We seem to be on the path of good because people want to do bad things to us.
Well, I suppose that's one way to achieve goodness.
It's how you know you're on the path you've been set upon. I guess in this instance.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair has little and less to do with this, but yes.
We try to be as fair as we can be. But yep. I hope you are successful for all of our sakes.
I hope so too. I feel a change is going to come. The storms are coming. Things are happening. So I'll return in a couple of days.
All right.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad for your guild.
Thanks. All right.
So speaking on the whole path of good, thing, as we're passing through places potentially like Ardrick's Stairs, Granite, Elrin Yard, places that maybe are a little bit farther from the Guardians, but not quite into, like you said, East Hill or Six Crosses, where it's accessible. Yeah. Finding an areas as we search that potentially have more street toughs. Whether they're just street toughs that are looking for mark, or if they're people going around like collecting protection money, that kind of thing, looking for street toughs that might be out and about. However many might be in a group at a time. Just kind of looking for my own marks, trying to find a group that, whether Stavid knows it or not, might be good for us to remove from the street.
Removed from the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a public service.
Do a public service. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of looking at, and especially more so looking for ones that are a little more armed or armored.
Okay. So when you get to Ardrick's Stair, hang on one second. Yeah. So Ardrick's Stair is so this area is definitely a little more blue collar, if you will. There's a, again, good number of warehouses and smaller shops and like apartments and, you know, side of the road street vendors. And then, yeah, there's definitely some people that are in the streets or, that might be a little less savory, if you will. You catch a glimpse of some hand talk going on between some of them. And then you see them head into a tavern that there's a lot of noise coming out of it. And you see it's called Udar's Run. And it's a very lively tavern, even at like it's like probably the lunch crowd by now. But it's a a fairly lively joint, as you're going by. And you kind of peek in there, and you can see there's some rowdy groups, rowdy folks in here. And you would guess, just looking at some of them, that like some of these folks are not on the up and up.
That seems perfect. So I'll nudge Stavid and nod my head towards the rowdy, what was it, Urdok's?
Udar's Run.
Udar's Run. Ooh. Because you had said it was kind of like lunchtime and.
Yeah. Okay.
So head in and take a look and look for some of the unsavory folk. Taking a little bit of time just to kind of read the room and see if there's a group that is more off by itself, a group that isn't mingling with the rest that are part of the unsavory sort.
Yeah, I mean, there's at least 2 or 3 of those groups, whether they're just eating off by themselves or whatnot. There's when you walk in, there's at the bar, you see there's a half orc behind the bar, and he looks like he's got he looks all beat up, and but he's serving bar, and he looks tough, and he's serving, and people don't generally seem to strike up a conversation with him. They just say, beer, and he pours it and slams it down in front of him. It's like, hey, and for whatever reason, some of these people are like, oh yeah, and then they throw it down there and they take their drinks, and there's certainly a couple different groups off to themselves.
Okay. All right. So we'll. I don't know what Stavid's doing, but Kater's gonna head over to the bar. Man, Gotta get ready, get into my Kenku. So he's gonna head over to the bar and whenever barkeep comes over, what happened to your face? He says in a little kid's voice. Yeah, I assume you said he was a little bit beat up.
Yeah. You said that to him?
Yeah.
Pulled a little bird's wings off. You scratch me.
Cackles. Cackles and Kenku kind of cackle.
What you want, Birdman?
Somebody giving you trouble?
No.
He kind of looks over, as you said he was beat up, kind of look over the areas where he's beat up and
You want a drink or not?
I'm looking to solve a problem.
Lots of problems in here.
He kind of looks around at the various problems in the area. What do you want done?
Stop it. Are you with them or not?
I'm behind him. Yeah. Like standing up behind him, kind of.
Small Kenku. Like, he looks big for a Kenku, but he's also like a Birdman, so I don't know how he doesn't look that big.
What you want? He's looking at Stabbin.
I'm with him.
You not drink either?
I don't know that we. Do we have enough?
When somebody was laying down money at some point, what was the cost of a beer or an ale
I always forget
in
what
this,
the
in this fine establishment?
Well,
Oh, is up there? Definitely not. Yeah.
I happen to have that right here.
I figured.
I don't know what this establishment is.
A mug of ale generally is 4 copper.
Or copper. I was thinking silver.
Yes.
Okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So he'll slap down a silver and put up 2 fingers.
He'll pocket it. Nope. Fix one of the drinks. He'll put it down.
And it stopped.
Thanks.
Nope. I'll pour the other drink. He'll hold it out to you.
He'll take it. You're a good bouncer. What's the name? What was the name of the guy I worked for at the Twisted Tavern, wherever the
tabaxi.
The back. In his voice, I can't think of what it would be right now. He'll say, "You're a good bouncer, Kater." Put it himself. Take a drink. Look around again.
Yeah, look at you, Stabbin. What about you?
Yeah. We've worked together before. You got anything you need done?
How much?
I was looking at a privateer again. I guess I'm going to be pirating. He shrugs and downs the ale real fast and puts the mug back and then looks around again.
He said how. He said how much.
How much? How
Not
much?
no. How much?
He'll put up 2 again, and he'll tap the hail.
Tap the ale, as in like
Tap the mug he just finished. And just put up 2 fingers.
2 ale.
Stavid will finish his drink and put his mug down.
All right. Let's see. He looks over to a corner. There's 2 guys.
Take a look at him.
They're like these 2 like skinnier. They look like they're workers of some kind. You know. And they have like 4 drinks or like in front of them. Like, I mean, you know, and they're like different types. Like, they were here last week. They ran off. I'll pay.
I'll look them over again and
I was going to wait till a few people left before I had a conversation with them. Go have a conversation with them.
And he'll look them over. And they just seem like worker types. Like,
Yeah.
Wouldn't necessarily have much on them.
They don't have a lot on them.
So Katera will walk over to the table.
Stavid right behind him.
Pull up a chair and sit down. Put his elbows on the table and his hands in front of him.
We're sharing a lunch right now. There's other spots.
And I'll look at the drinks. Count them.
Yes.
Looks up at the barkeep, looks back at them, and puts out his hand.
We're gonna pay after we ate. Is that what you're asking? Like, you're asking for payment?
You didn't last time.
What?
You didn't pay last time.
What? I assure you, we paid last time.
You didn't.
Gives out a big sigh and cracks his neck.
Well, listen. I assure you, we have every intent to pay this time. We're just gonna finish our drinks and then, you know, order a little chow, and then we'll. Yeah.
You can pay now for this time and last time.
What? But I need to, you know, we gotta eat first. Got to make sure that the food is what we want. It's good.
It's good. You can pay now for this time and last time.
And one guy looks at the other one. Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, we will. We will.
Tara puts out his palm again.
Look, guys, it's been a little hard at work lately. Don't have the funds. I have the coins. Brack's always been good to us.
He said Brax.
Brack.
Brack. Brack? reply in that man's voice.
Yeah, right. He's been always been good for it. And he knows we'll pay up. We'll pay up. I mean, we always settle up.
We're settling up today. What do you got?
Oh, nothing. I told you they're a little tight right now.
No, a little tight or nothing?
Well, I mean that's a little tight. I was thinking.
What's he wearing?
Look him over for any rings or anything.
They got like workers' hands. You know, they're like, you know, I mean, they're black and, you know, cut up and scarred. I mean, they're, you know, and then their clothes. I mean, they don't look, you know, they got the dirty clothing and the toilet tear and the. I mean, it doesn't look. They really don't look like they have a lot.
Yeah. You can pay or you can get out.
Well, can I finish my drink first?
I'll take the drink. Put it up to his lips. Pay or get out.
Put it up to his lips.
Hey, put it up to his. Kater put it up to himself. As if he's going to finish his drink for him.
Does Kater have lips? Sorry.
I mean, I don't, yes, he's got a beak. Putting it up to his beak.
All right, cool. Just a second.
And then he takes
okay. I guess we'll have to get out. I can't afford today. I can't afford today.
a nod off towards the door.
Gets up slowly.
4 drinks, and he'll empty your otherwise and bring them back up to the bar as he waits for and watches for those 2 to go.
They get to the door and one of them turns around and says, "Your place sucks anyway, Brack," and like takes off out the door.
Okay. Tara will set the mugs up at the bar.
You're gonna smash his face in?
Do you want us to?
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
And Kater will say in one of their voices, "No," or whatever. I'm trying to remember what they said. "I don't have any coin." We'll say in one of their voices, whichever voice said it.
They lose their coin when they walk in the door. So
Well, who's next? And he'll look around the bar.
You guys looking for work? Well, how much you want for work?
We'll take the clothes clean off their back, he says in a thieves type voice.
Does Stavin know what you mean by that?
Nope, probably not. Playing an awkward Kenku.
I can't. What?
Motion around the room. Who's next?
Nobody.
Shrug and put up the 2 fingers again and taps a mug. We did the thing he asked. We took care of him.
Yeah, I'll give you a beer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I put the beer down. You're looking for that kind of work. You probably need to go to Sissel.
Tap his beak. Raise the mug.
But
Go take the seat. Oh, sorry.
but you find a sorry, read my notes. You find a ugly man, an eye patch and a scar down the left side of his face, wearing this blue-white armor. You find him, bring him back to me.
Sissel, he'll say in Brock's own voice.
That's, I would guess.
How much you want? He'll say again in his own Brock's voice.
How much? You mean how much I pay? How good are you?
You're a good bouncer, Kater. He'll say again in the cat's voice.
What about you?
You get the job done.
Like Stavish trying to bluff his way all the way through this conversation.
It's a fighter.
I've done some.
Yeah, no, he has, but
It's all kind of odd job.
right. I'm just gonna agree.
I mean, we're just looking to, find a good paying job. It's all right if it's dangerous work.
I give 50. $50 gold pieces.
Sounds like good work.
Alive. 25 if you did.
Blue armor on? Blue armor off.
You do whatever you want to with his stuff. I just want him.
Did he do the thumbs up?
Yeah, do a thumbs up. He'll raise his mug to, what did you say his name was? Brock?
Brack.
Raise his name, mug to Brack and kick it back and put the mug back down on the counter.
Follow suit.
Right.
Then head out.
We'll see you soon, Brack.
We made a friend and we got our first bounty.
Friend and an enemy.
What's that?
A friend and an enemy.
Yeah, it was just perfect because once he's done being a friend, we can take his stuff.
All paths lead to curing the vanishing, except for this one. This is the best back to back.
Right.
We got to pay for it somehow.
We gotta live, man. We need we need funds.
Keldrin is leading us down an expensive road here, so you know,
Drinking. You gotta learn all the information.
Step one, break bad.
all right. So you so that's happening, and I'll say like, Onis is finishing like his talks. The art, I say like it's probably mid to late afternoon by the time we've like progressed through all of this. And then you head back like towards, actually, that's a good question. Were y'all going to meet back up at the Golden Spider? Yeah. Was it? Okay, I assume.
So especially now that we've got a job worth money in that
That's where I
part.
left all my money.
Do what?
That's where I left all my money.
Do
Yeah, I'm down to 2 silver.
how's the gold spending going there, Keldrin?
I mean, it's a lot slower when I only have to spend it on myself.
Drinking for one.
Yep.
You tell Malignant to stay at home. Is that
Oh no, I guess he's outdoors. Yeah, he's around. Okay, still 2. Let me take a little more off. Yeah. Look. Sounds like everybody's gonna start working soon.
So we'll cover your bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get back to the spider, and so we'll all meet back up at the Golden Spider. Keldrin, your conversations about like what's going on, like to the storms or whatever, it's it's the next day from when you last heard about it, and people don't have any more information than they did. It's just rumors of like storms, like there's a village that was wrecked, but there's been some refugees, as they've been deemed, that have crossed the realm lines into Garwinia. A few of them have made it to King City. Although again, this is a fairly recent thing, so there's not much more than that right now. So, and I mean, a few people you talk to attributed like, well, it's probably Farrell's wickedness, and they're not like a blessed place like Garwinia is, and it's probably divine punishment for so you get the range of things. Clearly it's some people controlling the weather, obviously. Yeah, you get those people too, so yeah. But you all meet back up at the Spider at some point for evening talk and meal
That we can afford.
Oh man, let's see. Wait.
I eat a little less comfortably this time.
How much more we gotta take off here?
So how did we eat last time? I feel like it was
pretty good. Last night was a lavish meal. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
lavish meal. Well, then we do worry about it. I mean, I guess we will find out.
When Drondolfers and Gorby, show up, and Drondolfers says, "Did you have a nice day about the city?" I went over to the Hall of Records just to look into this Elodie Everstrong person that you mentioned, and there's no record of her here. in King City.
Yeah, that's funny because nobody I talked to ever heard of her either. Like I went to a lot of places, asked about her, nobody knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought for sure somebody knows her name, but I really love the King and Queen though. I like them a lot.
Did you make the rounds today?
I visited a lot of establishments. There was
I'm going with you tomorrow.
yeah, you should. It's really good. There's lots of really. There's this one that has like the burning hammer that just in the middle of the room. Big burning, yeah, the wicked possible flame hammer.
Did you spend our gold on drinks all day?
I spend some of my gold on drinks while I talk to people, find out what was going on here. You know, get us some leads on all this stuff.
And the lead is that they love the king and queen.
They love the king and queen so much, and they go back. These king and queen, their family goes back really a long time, and they're all really old. All of them. And no one knows about Ellie Everstrong. And there's the storms. Storm like wiped out the village. Now they're all coming to live here.
The storm. Does the storm we heard about yesterday?
Yeah, yep, that one.
Well, I'd suggest turning in early tonight. We're going to need you back to yourself for the work that Kater kind of found us today.
Oh, you did some work? Great.
Found work. We've got to do the work. 50 gold to bring in somebody who needs brought in.
I bet you'll do really good at that.
No, I think you might need your help on this one. Sober.
We gotta. Are you two constables?
Donald first looks up. Shakes his head.
You get badges?
I mean, I feel like I maybe did some work like that in Cloudforth. I don't know what exactly the system was, but no, just kind of odd job.
Under the table, bring some.
What'd you get up to today?
I was able to find a guild that exists in Jack's Rise that studies the vanishing, which is what the Oblivion's called here. I was able to ask
the vanishing. This poor grandmother. This Poor grandmother. She didn't suffer though, so it was okay. But
as I was saying,
Man, you had a good day.
um, Elenius puts his hand on I'm forgetting everybody's names. Keldrin's shoulder and says, "May Saloon restore your thoughts." Yes, lesser restoration.
Remove this poison.
that'll work.
I think it does actually, because it's like minor and like drunkenness somewhere is considered
Minor ailments.
Yep.
minor. Yeah.
You just lost all your day's work.
I know. I worked all day on this.
This is the best use of that spell ever.
As I was saying,
All right. Well.
The vanishing struck an Agron, which is a realm across the continent from here. And this is something that we'd known, and the vanishing was always the worst there. The guild thinks that the vanishing is still worse there than here, but only a little bit worse. Here, they think that maybe only like 5 people a day in all of King City are struck with the vanishing. And the thinking is that in smaller towns, it's even less frequent because there's fewer people. But it affects everybody. I thought that maybe it would affect the elders more, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They have elders here. So that was something to see. They're curious about the rest of us, but I didn't tell them where we are because it seems imprudent to let others know where we are due to our circumstances for having left our last location. I said that I would meet them again in 2 days' time. So we should go there together next time.
The other thing Kader found and was there's some work too that we're heading somewhere. There's a few caravans that need, or deliveries that need made, and so you can make money while making the trip. So if we know where we're going, if we're leaving town, which do we get any closer to, like, Linus, did you check? Like, is there like a talk with a god spell we can figure out where this Elodie is? Is it?
Oh, I forgot about asking about Elodie today.
What about, did you ask for like financial support? Like, did any of the churches they sponsor the mission?
Oh,
Yeah.
I should have gotten an allowance too. You're right. I was mostly concerned with this difference in the vanishing between here and there. It's just so much different here than in Cloudforth.
No, I mean, I get that. I spent my day just taking in the differences.
I spent all day trying to find Elodie. That's the reason we came here.
The only one of us that's doing any real work.
That's right.
Exactly.
Appreciate the efforts.
I asked a lot of people about Elodie.
All within like 3 blocks of each other.
No, I went to 1, 2, 3, 5, 9, 10, like 10 different places.
Wow. Man, you were productive.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. Told me all about vanishing and storms and the king and queen.
Yep, I got that part.
Yeah, the people here kind of like really sort of worship the queen, especially.
Really?
Yeah, like really weird, obsessive way. Like they trace her lineage all the way back to the founder of this realm, this Felredel, all the way back, like over 1,000 years. Everybody in this line lives a very long life, and they've done so much to make this realm what it is, and they're just so wonderful and perfect and really weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. But I guess I didn't ask either.
The castle is impressive.
It is.
Yeah. This place is crazy. I never thought there could be so much of all the things that did. Yeah. Can we make it that far outside of the walls? So what's the plan? We making a little money, and then we still got to get a lead. We got to get a direction to go.
You need to find out more about the storm. It sounds like the refugees are coming here.
Yeah, there's
And
some who are here already. So find some of them. I'm sure they could tell us more about it.
yeah, and then finding Elodie.
Yeah, I'm convinced that's gonna take some sort of magic or divine intervention to make that happen, and that's gonna be expensive.
We're free.
Free is way better than expensive.
Yeah, we can find out what we can do for the Temple of Saloon or Helm or Chantier, whomever.
Fair trade.
What?
Who?
Fair trade.
Yes.
All right, so we've got some more work to do tomorrow. We got enough for another round tonight.
Yeah.
You are now.
Yeah, there's a. I'll get a. We're gonna have some. We're gonna do wine this evening. Since I was inspired by my visit to, Mountaintop. So let's get another picture. We've already had a pitcher for the table, and we'll get another one.
A pitcher of wine?
Yeah. I mean, just for the table.
We can need to consider moving our operation to a cheaper establishment.
Terry will rattle his 2 coins.
Fine.
They don't rattle very well.
They don't rattle very well at all.
Maybe more sustainable.
I think that choices make a location sustainable as well.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Choices make a location sustainable as well.
I don't think I am.
Using a good location. Like this one.
Children, I'm afraid that we're not going to be able to afford this much longer.
This is the nicer part of the city, from what I can tell.
Well, I mean, I certainly don't mind experiencing all that they have to offer here in this city.
I think you would say you got a good day's work in that today.
Yes, but if we want to,
There's a lot more out there.
You want to see Sissel.
Maybe tomorrow I'll spend some time in Sissel.
Eye patch. He'll say in Brock's voice.
And a scar.
The scar.
Oh, some lowlifes over there, huh?
That's what we're looking for.
Exciting. I mean, we're already settled in here, so we might as well stay here for one more night.
So tomorrow, then we'll pack up and go somewhere else. Maybe Jarrettstown or Sissel. I've not been to the Sissel before.
There's a lot more of this city. Stay at a different place every night.
For a long time. All right.
There's another round of something. I guess we'll decide at some point if it's wine or grog.
It sounds like a pitcher of wine.
Sound okay.
Yep.
There you go. Nobody's fighting them for it. We're getting wine.
So, is there anything else that we need to talk about besides wine?
Drinking some wine.
Okay. And then, are we retiring to quarters to get hopefully just the normal amount of sleep?
Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
That's just getting adjusted to different time zone.
Yeah.
Little
Sure, that's
Sure,
portal lag.
Teleportation
Portal
lag.
lag.
and portal lag. Yeah. All right. So, as you are like, hey, we're heading up to, I guess the question is, do we go up piecemeal?
I was about to type it. I will say. So Kater will always kind of make sure to be the last, because when he closes the door, he uses a couple of throwing knives as wedges to size locking the door. A couple of wedges in the door from their side. Because
and how many?
Whole life.
I mean, it's technical stuff. How many rooms were you getting? Like everybody got their own room? Or 3 rooms.
Yeah, that's what we did before.
Okay.
Right, because there's 6 of us, 7 of us.
I don't know if on this map's technically big enough for go with it. Who's rooming with who?
Well, I know we put Jondelfers in.
Or
Yeah. We put them
Whatever.
together before.
halfling, gnome.
I don't know. from there.
The trancers sleep together and the trance together and the
trans people plus malignant.
I think, yeah, malignant is with you guys.
So it's
Well, I mean, other people might be heading upstairs before me. I don't know. Depends on.
Elenius is absolutely not waiting up for you.
I think so.
Stavit and Elenius might be the first to
That seems
maybe with others.
pretty likely.
Yeah, and Kater and Caldron will be the last.
okay. Then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move Keldrin and Kater off to the side a little bit. So it's and Malignant's with you two.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, kind of. All right. So then so it's Elenius and Stavid are rooming together, or just heading up?
It makes sense.
Okay.
We probably have the most similar habits.
Okay. So as you're heading up, you two make a perception roll. Good. And good. Okay. So you both see it then. So as you're coming around this corner, about to head down the hallway to your room, you both see, and Stavid, you definitely see it. It looks like a spectral hand comes up out of the floor and kind of swipes through, like going for Stavid's boot. And like Stavid, you pull your foot back. And then you see this figure, the rest of the figure kind of come up out of the floor. And as it comes up, and it looks like it looks like it's shadows that are like wrapped around itself. And from its what you assume to be like its head or something, y'all are hearing this like whispers, and it's hard to make out what it's saying. It's not a slithering tracker.
Okay.
But what Olenius you hear is, "She sent me from the darkness." Stavid, what you hear is, "Why have you not sought me out yet?" And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Nice.
All right. We're staying in the haunted tavern.
What you get for staying in the same place 2 nights in a row.
Yes.
All right.
Cool.
Well, as we all go to sleep in the haunted tavern, or get ready to maybe not sleep in the haunted tavern, we'll find out what happens next time. So I think we'll be back next week. I think with some Scion probably, and then the week after that will be Thanksgiving, so we won't be back that week. So catch us probably next week for Scion or something, and then I don't know, we'll be back to D&D sometime in December. So thanks for hanging out with us, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Good night.